In this video, we shall be solving fractional equations by reducing them to a quadratic equation. So let's start with something very simple first. Let's have number 1. So I'll just push this one to the left side so I can have more space to solve on the right side. So my question is 6 for x plus 4 is equals to x plus 3. So feel free to try this equation, pause the video, and solve it on your own and see if you have the right answer. So basically, when you have something so simple like this, or a simple fractional equation, what you have to do is remember your cross multiplication function. We can actually cross multiply. So we can take one arrow equal to the other arrow. So let's have x plus 4 and x plus 3, which is this arrow, and let's have equals sign, or 6 multiplied by 1. So if you use the FOIL method here, you multiply this by this one by this one here. I'll just use another color just to show exactly what we're doing. And basically that's exactly what we're going to do. So you have x squared so we'll get x squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 12 is equal to 6. If you further simplify or reduce this quadratic equation, you can get x squared plus 7x, okay, plus 12 minus 6 is equal to 0. So we can further reduce this equation. As you can see, 12 and 6 can cancel. This one here. So we can have our x squared plus your 7x plus your 6 is equal to 0. Now we can literally solve this equation because using any quadratic method. So for me, I'll be using the factorizing method or the factoring method in solving this quadratic equation. So allow me to push this to the side, to the top, so we can create more room to solve my quadratic equation. So basically, I just have to take the coefficient of a and c, which is 6, and find two numbers. When I add them up, they become 7. So that's 1 and 6. Okay? That is equals to b, which is 7. So I can just substitute this one here, and I can have my new quadratic equation from this one here becomes x squared plus, remember I can have just 1x, okay, so I don't confuse anyone. For some of you, you can just put x, because the coefficient of x is also 1, plus, because this is positive, plus 6x plus another 6 is equals to 0. As you can see from this part here, this part, 6x plus x, is equals to 7x. That means I have not changed anything in my solving my quadratic equation. So you can go further by saying x squared, okay, plus your x plus your 6x plus 6 is equals to 0. So let's factor out a quadratic equation and see what our value most likely would be. So I'm just going to use another color here just so we can actually distinguish exactly what we're doing. So I'll take the sign as well, and then this one here. So I can have a factor of x, then I can have x plus 1, and I can have factor of plus 6, and I can have x plus 1 equals to 0. By factoring out, we can have x plus my 6 and x plus 1, my two factors, is equal to 0. That means I can have x plus 6 is equal to 0. At the same time, x plus 1 is also equal to my 0. Therefore, my x from this quadratic equation, my x can be negative 6 I'll just go to the top part. My x can be -6 or my x can be -1. Basically, these are the solutions of your quadratic equation. Let's go back and see if we can solve the other quadratic equations and see what will likely be our solutions when we solve question 2. So I'll just solve question 2 by the left side. So question 2 is 1 over x squared, 1 over x minus 2, that's this one here, plus, so let's take a bit more complex equation, minus 3 is equals to 5. So now we'll solve this equation just like the way we solve fractions, because it's a fractional equation. So let's draw our line at the bottom here, and let's take down our LCM. So the LCM is basically the multiplications of both denominator. So this is one denominator and the two. So I'll just take x minus 2 and x minus 3. Remember, this is still equals to 5. So if you divide this, x minus 2 parenthesis x minus 3 divided by this one. So what I'm left with, this one will cancel out. And I'll be left with, multiplied by 1, I have 1, and I have x minus 3. What I mean here is x minus 2, x minus 3 divided by this one here. X minus 2 multiplied by 1. That's what I did here for this one. So you end up having the same thing here, this one here, because this one here will cancel this. So you'd have x3 and 1. That's why I have 1 here. So for the second part, I can have my equation to be x minus 2, that's the same process again, and x minus 3 divided by x minus 3 multiplied by your numerator, that is 2. So I can cancel this out. So I have what? A plus 2x minus 2. I'm just trying to make sure that we have a clean place and nothing is confusing while we solve our quadratic equation. So I'll just drag this to the top so we can have more room in solving our quadratic equation. So from this part here, we can go directly and try to simplify or try to reduce our equation now. So we can have 1 multiplied by this is still the same. So we can still have our equation here to be x minus 3 plus our 2x minus 4, all divided by my x minus 2 and x minus 3, all equals to 5. So the next thing I'm supposed to do right now is basically to cross multiply. So I can cross multiply here, have my cross multiplication function here for both sides. So right now, we can now separate and equate both equations. So I can have 5, I open my parenthesis, this one here, x minus 2 and x minus 3. And I can have it equal to x minus 3 plus, okay, so we don't need the parenthesis anymore because here 1 has actually expanded that. So we have x minus 3 plus 2x minus 4, all equals to, there's no equal sign anymore because it's been multiplied by 1. So I can further reduce my equation. I can have here my 5, I open my parenthesis here, and we can use the FOIL method again, where you can have your x been multiplied by x and your x been multiplied by 3. And also, we have to consider the other one, whereby we can have your negative 2 multiplied by x and also the same negative 2 multiplied by negative 3. So I'll just change the color. So x and x, that is x squared. X times 3, that is negative 3. So that is negative 3x. Negative 2 and 2x, that's negative 2x. And this negative 2 multiplied by negative, that's plus 6. This is equals to everything multiplied by 1 is just by itself. So I'll just replicate the same thing here. So now we can have all of this multiplied by 5. So I can have 5x squared minus 15x minus 10x plus 30 is equals to my x minus 3 plus 2x minus 4. Next, all I can do now is to shift this equation to the other side. I can move all this equation to this side so I can have my proper quadratic equation. That means my reduction is actually complete, and I can go ahead and solve my equation as my quadratic equation. So let's take this to the other side. Let's try to have a simple, more simplified quadratic equation. So I can have my 5x squared, and I can see that I have a 15x, so this one can actually be simplified. So we have minus 5, negative 25 rather, negative 25x. What if I take this one here, this and this? Let's just simplify this one first, one-sided first. So we can have x and x, so plus x, so we can have 3x minus 3 minus 4 minus 7. Okay, so let's take this here and take this one here the other side as well. So we can have now 5x squared minus 25x minus 3x, okay, plus 30 plus my 7 all equals to 0. So now I can have my equation, my quadratic equation now to be equals to my 5x squared minus 25 minus 3x, this is minus 28x, plus my 37 is equals to 0. Now solving this equation using a quadratic equation, the factoring method may seem difficult. So all I have to do is basically to use my general quadratic formula. So I can have my minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, which is my x, all over my 2a. So I know that from this equation that my a here is equals to 5, my b is equals to negative 28, and my c is equals to my 37. So from this part, I can have my b is my negative 28, close my parenthesis, plus or minus, I'll open that, minus b squared, plus my minus b, plus negative 28, square, minus my 4, my a is 5, and my c is 37. All of this is equal to x, all over my 2a. So my 2a is 2 and 5. So if you keep solving this equation further, you'd realize that I can have my x to be equals to my 28 plus or minus, I'll take this further, I can have negative 28 squared is 784 minus so I can have here negative 740 all over my 10. So if I go further, I can have 28 plus or minus 784 minus my answer, minus 740 here, I can have square root of 44 over my 10. If I keep solving this further, my two roots will be equals to 28 plus square root of 44 over 10, or 28 minus the square root of 44 over 10. My answer here, all of these are my x. So my x here is, just for a moment, here will be 3.46, and here will be 2.14. So these here will be the factors of my x if after I have reduced my quadratic equation. So let's go over to the third questions and let's see how possible we can solve the third question. It kind of looks a little bit complicated, but we can actually solve the equation. I'll just zoom in a little bit so we can actually. So go ahead and try to solve this quadratic equation and see if you can actually solve it on your own. So I'll just remove this one here, so at least I can have more space to solve my quadratic equation. Just so I don't get everywhere tilted. So for my number 3, I will have just here my 3 over my x minus 2 minus my 1 over my x minus 2 all squared is equal to 2. The same process that we used in solving the previous equation, we can find the LCM, just like with how we solve fractions. So this one can be x minus 2, and we can have x minus 2 all squared. And next we can have, from this part, if you divide this one, you can have your 3, look in your parentheses, obviously this is gone. So we can have x minus 2 squared. Minus, if you go further with this one here, we can have 1 x minus 2 all equals to 2. The easiest way for us to be able to comprehend or see that what we're doing is actually correct is to cross multiply. Let's cross multiply and see if we can actually get exactly what we're doing. Remember, anything divided by 1 is also by itself, so that's why I just use this 1 at the bottom here. So I'll remove this 1 here because it's not part of our equation. So right now we can have let's expand, so we can have 3x minus 2 squared minus 1 x minus 2 is equals to my 2 multiplied by my x minus 2, 1 at the bottom, and my x minus 2 squared. Now, as we can see from both sides, we can actually remove something. So what if we divide both sides by x minus 2, which is very common for both sides. So that means we can have 3x minus 2 squared divided by x minus 2 minus 1 x minus 2 divided by x minus 2, and our right side x minus 2 squared divided by our x minus 2. So this one can actually cancel this one here. This can actually cancel this, and this one here can cancel this. So we further reduce our quadratic equation, our fractional equation rather, to something very much simpler. As you can see from this equation here, we can have now what's left is 3x minus 2 minus 1 is equals to 2x minus 2 squared x 2 squared. So this is what we have left. So let's expand this equation. So we can have 3x minus 6 minus 1 is equals to, let's expand this one here. 2, I'll open my big parenthesis, smaller one, x minus 2 and x minus 2. Forgive me if I keep going further to clean or to create space. But sometimes an equation, you just have to look from a different perspective when solving when solving fractions leading to quadratic equations. Sometimes we cannot actually determine the length. So we can actually continue here and have 3x minus 7, which is equal to, if you expand this one here, you have your 2. So I'll have a small parenthesis now, x squared, using the same FOIL method. Okay, this one here, this one here, this one here, and this one here. So I can have x squared, okay, this is square, minus, or let's make it look better so if everyone can apprehend better and see exactly what I'm doing here. So x squared minus 2x minus another 2x plus 4. So that's, if we continue further, we can have 4x squared minus 4x minus 4x plus 8. So we can actually do something with this one. So 3x minus 7 is equals to 4x squared, okay, minus 8x plus 8. So let's take all of this guy here, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that our x coefficient is positive. It's okay to have a negative x coefficient. Depends on the kind of method you want to use in solving a quadratic equation. So for me, I'm deciding to push all of this to the right side. So we can have now 4x squared minus my 8x. So I'll take this one here, it becomes minus 3x plus 8 plus 7, all equals to 0. So I can have my 4x squared now, minus 11x, 8 plus 5, that is 8 plus 7 rather, that is 15. So 15, all equals to 0. It doesn't matter which side your equal sign is. It can be left or right. All can be the same thing. Okay, so having this one now, I can also determine that my a is equals to my 4. Depends on the method you always want to use when solving a quadratic equation. But now we have a quadratic equation, and you can solve appropriately using whatever method you'd want to. So if we go on, I can decide to use a general, or I can use a simple factoring method. So let's use factoring method for this one and see. So we can have 60. So let's have two numbers, negative, two numbers that when we add them up, they'll give me negative 11. So let's go ahead with the general formula here. So let's just save our time. So we can have a is equals to 4, my b is equals to my negative 11, and then my c is equals to my 15. Going further, I can use once again my x is equals to my negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So let's substitute all the variables inside of the formula and see what it is. So we have negative 11 plus or minus the square root of um, negative 11 square minus my 4, my a is 4, and my c is 15. I'll just extend this one here, divided by my 2 and my 4, 2a. So if you keep solving this further, you'll have your, this is equals to x. So your x here is equals to 11 plus or minus, so I just expand the square root here, and I can have 1 to 1 subtract 240 divided by 8. So as you can see, this is a negative function here. So that means my equation here is most likely to be a no root. But let's see the simplest expression that we can get by solving this quadratic equation. So if we go further here, remember this, our answer here is, let's go further. This is a no root equation. What I mean is, if you subtract this one, you'll have negative 1 to 1 minus 120. 1 to 1 rather minus 240. That gives us negative 119. And there's no law, we cannot have a negative square root. So we cannot have something like this is error. When you try it out on your calculator, this will give you an error. That's exactly what I mean for this side. But let's find the simplest form that we can get when solving this equation. So we can have 11 plus or minus or negative 119, okay, divided by our 8. So therefore, our x can be 11 plus negative 119 over 8, or our x can be 11 subtract or minus our negative 119 over our 8. So basically, these two are the functions of our x. But basically, the question wants us to reduce the fractional equation to a quadratic equation. So if you've gotten to that stage, that is okay already. So we just went a step further in trying to verify what our quadratic function, and not just the function, the roots of the equations will be. But that'll be all for this video. Do have a wonderful day. Thank you.